We've all heard of learning styles, the idea that some of us learn better visually, where others learn better with audio. It turns out that this whole thing is a myth. People actually learn best when they use all kinds of senses, or even better when they combine all of them. And there's even some research that suggests the method that we prefer the most might not be the most beneficial to our learning. I wanted to see if there's a way we can build some kind of quiz, perhaps, or experience to have people reflect on this idea of learning styles so that they can maybe break the myth for themselves. So here's a demo that I built really quickly. Say we're trying to learn about the Mona Lisa, and we have this image and this small bit of text at the bottom. In the Mona Lisa, the horizon on the left is lower, creating a sense of distance, and you can read this text for yourself. Then we can have the students go into another one where they listen to that audio instead, and let that audio finish. And once they're done listening to that, we can send them to a quiz that asks them to reflect the differences on how they learned the text and audio. And this isn't meant to be for them to decide which is better. I'm trying to craft questions that help them realize that each method might be better at different things. For example, in this case, because we're trying to learn a piece of art, maybe we ask them about their ability to focus on the image while learning about it. So, best in text versus best in audio. And I would imagine, quite honestly, that while the audio is playing, it'll probably be better to learn about the image compared to text, where my eyes have to go back and forth. Then the clarity of the explanation. For me personally, it would be best in text because I can read, pause, and process before I move on rather than follow along with the person speaking. Or maybe the person is emphasizing things that I don't think are as interesting or important, and so it's clearer for me in text. Then the next question is ability to remember the details presented. And in this one, there's some science that shows that remembering details in text is easier, so I'm going to rate better in text, but I know that some people really find reading difficult or unpleasant, and so for them it might be better in audio. And then finally, there's ability to visualize concepts while being explained. And again, I would imagine that for this one, maybe it's better than in audio, or actually maybe it's equal in both, because it's about, as I read something, am I visualizing it rather than looking at the image? And maybe with the audio, I'm so focused on the image, but then I'm able to imagine things. The fact that it's not easy to choose between these is almost the point. And in this video, the exploration is meant to serve as a way to empower the students, not to think of which learning style of theirs is best so that they can go and just keep using that, but rather to think about how to use which learning style in what context and what is the benefit of audio versus reading versus writing versus movement and kinesthetics. Now, is this something that we can just start rolling out? Of course not. The survey needs to be improved. It's important to create more clarity in terms of what exactly we're trying to help students reflect on. But for me, what's important is less the idea that people can, listen to something about the Mona Lisa or read something about it. Instead, I want to get people to the point where they're able to just understand when to fetch which and learn how to learn, more so than be given a method of learning and just be told to follow it. Or even worse, which is what these learning styles did, pigeonhole people into one single way of learning. That's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed this exploration. If you have any ideas for more things you'd like to see, you can leave them in the comments. You can subscribe to this channel to get more of these videos in your feed. Thanks for watching.